Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and tonight is my stamp set of the month, which is the To a Wild Rose bundle. And I don't have a card for you tonight. Tonight I have what I call a sticky notepad holder. It uses sticky notes, and it's a great little gift that you could give to a teacher, the bus driver, school starting, a friend, if you're into stamping, maybe a fellow team member. There's lots of different people that you could gift this little project that I'm going to show you tonight. Thanks for stopping by, ladies. I see you all joining in, and I appreciate that so much. So let's change the camera and get started. All right, so this is my featured stamp set. This is for the month of August, which we only have a few more days left. I will be extending this into September because the new holiday catalog does not start until September 4. And that's when I'm going to feature my featured stamp set for September. When the new catalog or the mini catalog goes live, I will post my featured stamp set for September. So you have until, I want to say, September 3rd to get your minimum $50 order in. Use the hostess code, and you'll get all the PDF files for the To a Wild Rose bundle. Now, bundle means it has coordinating. Here's my extra pieces and stamps. Coordinating dies that go with the stamp set, which I love. And I usually, with my featured stamp set, will have some sort of a bundle. Either it will be a punch, the framelits, the dies. Sometimes I'll pair it with paper. There's all different ways I do my featured stamp set. But this month it is the To a Wild Rose. This is what I'm going to show you how to create tonight. It is a sticky pad notebook holder, and what I did was, these were the ones I bought. I think I bought it at my local Myers, but any store that sells the Post-it notes. There's 4 in a pack. They're 4 by 6, and it really doesn't say how thick they are, but I want to say they're maybe like 1/4 of an inch, the thickness. This is what I mean by the thickness, because that's going to determine how you cut down your notepad. The dimensions outside as well as your scoring will all be determined by the length of your pad and the thickness of your pad. So mine that I'm going to show you tonight, this fits perfectly. You can see how it's just nicely in there. You could probably go a bit thicker than that if your pads were a little thicker, but this is what I am using. I don't know if there's a way that I can tell you which ones they are, but they are the 4 by 6, the Post-it note brand. Okay, so this is my Post-it note we're going to use. We are going to start with the base, or this part right here, which puts the whole notebook together. I'm changing it up. This is the Crushed Curry and the Daffodil Delight. I am going to go tonight with the Gorgeous Grape and the Highland Heather. So I think this will be a gorgeous print as well. So I'm going to cut this 6 1/8, 6 1/8 by 9 3/8, 9 3/8. So if you've already purchased from me this month, you have the unlock code, so you will get all the instructions and dimensions in the PDF file. So 9 3/8. Like I said, depending on the length and the width of your pad will change your dimensions a bit. And I would say my pad, I want to say, is like 1/4 of an inch thick. So now we are going to do our scoring. So I want to make sure I get my cutting blade out of the way. The first score line is going to be at 4 1/8. Make sure that looks straight. And then it's going to be 4 1/2. 4 7/8. And then 5 1/4. Just like that. Now you're going to take it out. It's very hard for you to see those score lines. Maybe if I fold them a little bit beforehand. Try to keep my lines straight. I'll straighten them out when I fold it for real. Okay, so you can kind of see my score lines now. So I'm going to put this in and I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to bring my blade down to that 4 1/8 inch. And I'm going to cut it down to I'm going to go down 2 score lines. So I'm lining it up at the first score line, which is at 4 1/8. And I'm going to cut it down to 4 7/8. And then I'm going to move it over to 4 7/8. And I'm going to bring it back up my blade here to 4 1/8 and cut down to 4 7/8. Just like that. And now we're going to really fold on them score lines and get those nice and crisp. And try to keep my paper straight. I got one more here. All right, so there I have all my fold lines, score lines, all nicely folded in. Now I'm going to take the cut one here, and you're going to pinch that down in the back. So I want this down, and then this is going to pop up. Because that's going to leave that track for your pen. So it might help you to slide your pen in there. And you can use any pen that you choose, but that's going to help you to get that fold right and get that track. So it's down, and then you have your track, and then down again. So I'm just going to crease those really good. Then I'm going to just open it up, and I'm going to put my liquid glue on these two pieces right here. And then those, I'm going to push down and down, and just make sure that you're square, everything is lined up. Take your bone folder and just kind of burnish that in. Do that on both sides. You could also use the sticky tape or the tear tape, but I like to use the liquid glue. It gives me a little bit of moving around. And it does stick down fairly quick. So there, I can put that in there now. I just so happened to have a purple pen that went right very nicely with that. But that is how you stick that together, and that's pretty much your pad. Decorate the front, put your pad on the inside, and you're all set. So we're going to take the pad. I just use my regular adhesive. You can use the liquid glue, whatever you want. And we're going to place that on the inside. Just like that. So there's our pad in there. Then for the cover, I took a piece of this is the Highland Heather, and I ran it through the basket weave embossing folder. And so we're just going to glue that on the front. So just kind of center that on the front. Any news on the baby? Nikki went today and had a growth scan done, which I've never heard of. I think it's just another term for an ultrasound. And baby is doing good. The heart is good. She's measuring good. Everything seems to be very good. Definitely a girl. So everything is good. We're just sticking it out and waiting. If nothing happens by next week, Tuesday, they are going to schedule a C-section. Sophia, her firstborn, was a C-section as well. So Nikki really wants to go regular, but if she has to have a C-section, she has to have a C-section, right? So that is glued down. Well, that's pretty good. We'll leave that in place. Then what I did was I took the framelit that comes in the stamp set. Remember, we were using the To a Wild Rose. So this is from the framelits that go with it. And I'm going to use the Hello, which is also in the stamp set. And then this is the Gorgeous Grape ink. And we're just going to stamp our Hello on there. Perfect. Get some adhesive. Again, you could use any adhesive of choice. I'm just using my glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here because I see that lifting up. A lot of times when you use an embossing folder, I like to use the liquid glue. Let's see, how far down did I go? About like that. I've already went ahead and did my rose, and this was the Blackberry Bliss, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape were the three colors that I used. And then I have my leaves, and this is Mellow Moss and Pear Pizzazz. Stamp them and die cut them out with the coordinating die. We're going to place them on our notebook holder here. And I like to position them first. And then when I have them positioned, then I'll come in with the dimensionals, and I try not to move them too much. Just like that. I'm going to put one up here. Just like that. Okay, so now I can take that out of the way because I know exactly where I want my leaves to land. I'm just going to pop up a couple more of these. Just like that. And then I'll put some dimensionals on the back side of our rose. We're almost done. You can see it is very quick and easy. I would say the most technical part is your scoring and cutting, and then to get this down the way you want it. But like I said, if you put your pen through your track, you'll see exactly how you're going to push down those sides like that. So let's see. That looks good, just like that. And then we'll come in with our pearls to finish it off. I like to put a little pearl in the center of our rose. And then I just did a couple up here as well. So pretty. I love the purple. I love the yellow. Which color do you like? Purple, yellow. And that's going to stick down a little bit better. But that is how you make those gorgeous notepad holders. And again, it is the 4x6 Post-it super sticky notes made into these gorgeous little, oops, my pearls coming off. Sometimes I'll add a little liquid glue to my pearls if I notice they're falling off. That will for sure keep them in place. So any questions? Wow, you guys are talking a lot. I've been missing a lot. Purple. I like the purple too. I think purple's pretty, and it does go very well with the yellow. Purple and yellow go beautiful together. So that's pretty. I went with the yellow here. I just thought that matched the Daffodil Delight paper, but you pretty much change it up to any color that you would like. Hello, hello. Oh, it's a great gift for anybody. So I will remind you that the holiday mini catalog starts September 4, and you can get the PDF file for all my To a Wild Rose featured stamp set cards and projects this month until September 3rd. If you place a minimum $50 order, use my hostess code, go to my blog, www.thestampcamp.com. And that is it for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.